Hi everybody. In this video I'm going to try to put together three concepts related to teaching yoga and why I'll probably be stopping teaching yoga within a few months. And I want to try to make it coherent if I can. So let's start basically with what yoga is as a definition. It can mean union, it can mean bringing parts of ourselves together. The physical practice requires discipline and it requires practice over a period of time. And in order to achieve results, you actually have to tax the muscles to the point where they start to rebuild themselves. So there's actually little micro tears in the muscular fabric that grow and repair and become stronger. It's the principle of demanding a little bit more of yourself than is comfortable. And I would believe, it's my experience, that this process is not only physical, but it's also mental and emotional. So if we put ourselves in a little bit more stress or stimulus, our minds and our emotions will respond and become more resilient and stronger. So let's keep that in mind. That's yoga, the way that I see it. We have the organization Yoga Alliance that was supposed to be the governing body to provide standards for yoga teachers and trainings. This year, they have decided to basically pull the plug on any oversight at all. You don't have to even attend a yoga training. You can just watch one online for a couple of $100 or even for free. Uh, there's no particular testing required. You just have to complete the course. Whatever is contained in that course is unknown, really, because Yoga Alliance only looks at the kind of abbreviated course syllabus and they never actually visit sites or check on anything. So the student then can just either quote complete the course or page through it and then register as a yoga teacher. So now anybody can be a yoga teacher for free. So that's the second ball in play. One is yoga requires discipline in order to be effective. Yoga Alliance has removed any guardrails, so there is no requirements at all for competency in yoga teachers, which completely devalues the profession. The third ball in play is try to teach yoga within the social context that's happening today. Without getting too political, let me just say that there is an emphasis on fragility rather than on improved health stimulus, getting stronger on an individual level. There's a sense that society needs to change rather than the individual. Although that may be true in some instances, my own personal opinion is that it's only through the individual becoming stronger and more resilient that we can then act collectively to become a stronger society. Now, you may disagree with that, but that's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. So that comes into play when I'm teaching younger people how to practice yoga, and they have been taught an emphasis on fragility, and I would even go as far as to say coddling, emotional coddling rather than emotional resiliency. This is not what I want to teach. This is not what I'm interested in promoting in a society. I'm absolutely against this. Um, and then we get into very tricky areas like trauma-sensitive yoga, and there are trainings that proclaim themselves to be trauma-sensitive trainings. And I won't name any of them, but I can tell you that in the ones that I've seen, the organization, the people who are running the trainings, the teachers themselves, have no experience. They're not medical professionals at all. They may have had a coaching training. Someone gave them a certificate from Staples that says they're a life coach or a trauma sensitive coach, but they've never been to university, to medical school. They don't understand trauma to the degree that you would need to understand it to even help somebody. And then these people who are in these organizations are then offering trainings to people that know nothing about trauma any more than you or I do. And then we're supposed to be able to go into a room with people who've been traumatized and be able to be sensitive to their needs on a higher level than the average walk-by person would be. And of course, we wouldn't be. We know nothing about their individual trauma. We don't know what their triggers are. To imply that we do is to misinform them. So the whole trauma-sensitive yoga thing, although if you were a psychologist and you took a yoga training, then you might actually be able to help somebody within a context one-on-one, guiding movement, because you already have a licensing and a competency in in psychology, and then the yoga is really just an add-on. But the other way around, being a non-professional and then sort of trying to pretend that we know something about neurology and medicine behind trauma is just the wrong thing to be trying to teach people, and you're helping in the wrong way, even if the intention is good. So all of this is happening together, and what I've seen in a couple of the trauma sensitive trainings that have included Gabor Mate as well as Bessel van der Kolk, both I think I respect their work. I think they're both very intelligent medical professionals. But what these organizations that are offering trauma informed training have done is they have associated themselves with the legitimacy of, say, van der Kolk or Gabor Mate, and said, please be part of this. Maybe give some lectures, or maybe you can be on our website. So they have the shine of legitimacy from these well-known professionals cast down onto an organization that knows nothing about what they're doing, other than they want to be associated via the shared limelight of these well-known professionals. And I've seen this more than once, and it's a scam. It's what it is. It has nothing to do with helping people, and everything to do with wanting to be a large public-facing organization, and possibly with access to a lot of student enrollment. So all of those together have made me decide to step back entirely from my association with Yoga Alliance, for sure, because they have no legitimacy. I certainly wouldn't be associated or training or getting involved with trauma-sensitive yoga, because I am not a health professional. I'm a yoga teacher. I show people where to put their hands and feet on a mat. That's my scope of practice. And so the whole thing leaves me in a place where I think, well, I don't even know if I wanted to train people how to teach yoga. I'm not going to associate with any organization that gives certification, because the certification is now worthless. So anyway, that's where I am, and I wanted to share that with you guys. And if you have any comments, let me know. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Thanks.